Environmental sustainability is a hot topic in New Zealand tourism at the moment. The New Zealand Tourism Strategy 2010 stated the natural environment is fundamental to the New Zealand brand and set the challenge of having operators and organisations recognising the value of the natural environment and actively protecting, supporting and promoting its sustainability as part of what they do. In light of this challenge, the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry for the Environment got together and came up with the Environmentally Sustainable Tourism Project. This project includes 6 regions: Northland, Bay of Plenty, Rotorua, Nelson and Wanaka, as well as our area, which includes Southland and Fiordland.
Tourism is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, and tourism has been New Zealand's biggest export earner for the past 2 years now, and with that comes an increasing pressure on our natural resources in terms of social, environmental, economic and cultural. So we see this project as having a significant impact in trying to reduce our impact on our natural resources within New Zealand.
Tourism businesses often being leaders within their communities and large employers or just an employer within the community, and if they need a recycling project or they want to are leaders within that and initiate some kind of change within sustainable practices within the town or the village or just that local community, then their need for something can then broaden out and mean that those facilities are then accessible or available to other businesses. And we all know that tourism people are often the leaders and the shining light in those communities as well. So they'll be chatting and talking about what they do at the dairy or maybe at the local supermarket. And if those tourism businesses then can infect the wider business community with sustainable practices, you know, that's got to be a benefit.
Well, financial sustainability is really important to tourism operators because that's what determines how long they're going to be in business. They need to be viable, they need to be able to survive the low season from a cash flow point of view, and they need, of course, to have a return on investment and a profit at the end of the day, particularly if they're wanting to create some wealth and sell their business eventually. So, hugely important.
Just when you thought you could Tourism New Zealand has very successfully marketed our country to the world as 100% pure. It's now time for our tourism operators to step up to the plate and ensure that the experience visitors have in New Zealand is just that. We need to be running our businesses that rely on our clean green image in an environmentally sustainable manner.
Well, one of the things visitors expect to see when they come to our country is that we actually protect it. By world standards, we're very, very clean, and they like to see businesses that are holding on to that and sustaining it in their own way. So they deliver on the promise of 100% pure New Zealand.
In Southland, our environment is the #1 reason that visitors come here, so it's vital that we look after it. In Southland, we're lucky enough to have 2 national parks, one of which is in a World Heritage Area. Although it's not only those businesses relying directly on these places that need to consider their impacts on the environment.
Well, this project is more than just recycling your plastic or minimising your electricity bill. Really, it's about engaging with your community, planning for the future of your business, working with your staff and involving them in the process of sustainability, and really safeguarding the future of the industry in Southland.
The Department of Conservation's mission is to conserve New Zealand's natural and historic heritage for all to enjoy, now and in the future. They're charged with managing our national parks and other conservation lands on behalf of all New Zealanders.
By acting in a sustainable manner, operators avoid and mitigate adverse effects of the activity on the environment. This means that a balance is achieved between use and protection, which safeguards our environment for everybody. This fits really nicely with DOC's own mission statement, which is to conserve our natural and historic heritage for everybody in the future.
The District Council is also charged with looking after our environment. The Southland District Council looks after water and waste, among many other roles, with one of its guiding principles being to promote social, economic and environmental well-being.
This sustainability project within the tourism industry is very important for the province. The tourists are very interested in their carbon footprint, in issues like food miles, and it's important that we locally have our act together so that they go away feeling that they've had a very low impact on our local environment. Southland District Council is hoping other industries will get in behind the similar initiatives and are willing to support them to ensure that we have an action plan to minimise our carbon footprint as we move forward into the future.
Environment Southland is our local regional council that looks after our natural and physical resources of air, land, water and coast.
Our projects currently deal with sustainable development and sustainable management, and this particular project on tourism sustainability fits in exactly alongside those projects.
The Sustainable Tourism Project is now well underway in Southland.
When we build our new vessels, for example, we're now very aware of things like wake, of noise, emissions and so forth, and even dealing with things like our waste oil. For example, in recent times in Te Anau we built a new workshop facility, and the waste oil is used to drive an underfloor heating plant. So basically we dispose of the waste oil as well as heat our building.
The principles developed in the initial Southland Charter include to operate in a manner which recognises the inseparable link between the natural environment and business sustainability by adopting and developing industry best practices, encouraging continuous improvement in our business, looking after ourselves, our staff and our customers.
We've embraced the sustainable tourism concept. We're already doing some things. One thing we're doing is our stoat trapping program down the river, and when we're doing our tourist trips we're monitoring the stoat traps, throwing out the dead stoats and rebaiting it, and so that's also putting something back into the area. The project's also made us aware of little things like, do we need to use plastic bags instead of reusable containers? Just small things like that. What happens to our food scraps and our fuel usage? It's not rocket science, but small things like that help make our business more sustainable.
To operate our business as part of a continuum by recognising and valuing the natural, cultural and social heritage of the South for the long term.
The reason why we joined the Sustainable Tourism Project is because we felt we could give as much to the project as what the project was going to give to us. We've been practising sustainable tourism for 15 years, and I think it's time that we looked outside the boundaries of what sustainable means.
Sharing the special character of the South through authentic interpretation, genuine experiences, southern hospitality.
Our involvement with the Sustainable Tourism Project in the South has been very rewarding. We thought it would have had an environmental bias, but we soon found it was more a holistic approach. Social, cultural and economic aspects were equally weighted. The expertise of Venture Southland staff and the other resources they can call on have made it extremely beneficial to our business.
We've saved money in the water, in electricity and power use. We've had a lot better comments from the guests who realise or know that we are trying to help the environment. There's been positive spin-offs from there. The results are that we know a lot more about what we should be doing, and perhaps it's just other business who should be involved.
Build relationships to work towards a balanced environment for business, nature and the community.
There's a wide variety of businesses in the project, from accommodation right through to charter boat operators. Some are very advanced in terms of sustainability and some of them are just starting to think about it. They all have very good awareness of environmental issues internationally and nationally, and it's great for them to get together and network and talk about the different issues that they have. The environment is one of the most important things to Southland. It's why visitors come here, and the experience in the community is also really important. So it's really important that they balance this with the business goals, and that's what the project aims to do.
It really is a great opportunity to have a look with help from professionals at your business and really try and understand how you might be able to operate in a more sustainable fashion in the long term.
We are quite new to the Southland Sustainable Tourism Program, but we're very excited about it. It's great for us, it's great for the tourists that come and stay with us. We're very much into recycling and native tree planting around the park, which is good for the environment. And it's brought a whole new awareness about how we run our business in Southland and the impact we have on the environment around us.
This charter is essentially the mission statement for the Sustainable Tourism Project in Southland, and is the reason that it's a lot broader than simply looking at environmental effects. It also looks at community involvement, staff participation and work-life balance to ensure that nothing is missed in the overview of the business. Southland's environment is its major drawcard with visitors, both Kiwis and those from overseas. It's vital that we look after it, and operators entertaining our visitors are seen to be setting an example for them and delivering on the promise of the 100% pure, clean, green New Zealand that visitors are expecting.